Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome towards the round 16 of Wasa Sochi home race for myself and towards some other drivers. So, yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. And before this race starts, unbelievable race in Wasa. We're gonna get a hometown hero, Ozone Delta, to the interview box to talk about, for the race and stuff like that. About having the pressure of. So yeah, I'm gonna invite Ozone Delta to the interview box or to the stream, and we'll see how it goes there. So unfortunately he's in a party like usually everybody else. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. I hate when people are in a public parties. If you're in a party, could you please make it like private or something, so I could like just get the job done. And we already have almost full lobby, but we're not gonna ready up. And I'm gonna write message, do not ready up. And we're waiting for Ozone Delta to come for the interview box. Hometown hero of Russia. The one the millions of people are gonna put their eyes on, from presidents to ministers, myself included. So we're gonna wait if Ozone Delta comes to the interview box. So if he doesn't, then he doesn't. So but yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a full grid here today, ladies and gentlemen. So that looks very decent, a very decent job. So doesn't look like he's gonna come. So we're gonna try to get somebody else. The Robo Giza, he's probably a good choice. Robo Giza, he's also part Russian. So we're gonna invite. Yes, he's not in a public party, thank God. Usually, if you're in a party, I'm just gonna say, please put yourself to private party so I can invite you to the profile immediately. So yeah, and somebody's writing in already comment to the stream, and we'll try to read it out as soon as possible. But we have Robo Geezer coming to us the live stream. Good evening.
How are you?
Very good, very good. So this is kind of like a home race to you, isn't it? Kind of like
pretty much, yeah.
So you're Russian or half Russian, is that correct?
I have Russian family, so I've just been like, learning Russian throughout the years, but not really mastered it yet.
But you somehow your parents are from Russia, or how does it go?
So I've got a Russian auntie and then a Russian cousin, and well, they're from St. Petersburg, which has a brilliant history. And for me, it's just been recently, I've just been wanting to learn their culture, their language, and, just because, why not?
Why not? So, yeah, добро пожаловать на эту стриму, это приятно познакомиться. Do you want to have this interview in Russian or English? Which one do you prefer? But I can do either ways, because I'm Russian myself, so
because I've not mastered it
yet.
Right.
Okay, so technically a home race, apart from Silverstone, what do you expect from yourself from this race here today?
If I get a point, then...
Yeah, millions of watching, presidents, the people are watching. What do you have to? Yeah, what are your expectations? And you can a little bit lie.
Expectations.
Win.
If I get a win, right, forget a win. We are having. We are having a full Russian party, right? We're going to be celebrating Russia Christmas early, right?
Ruski Novi God, yeah.
And I will have to prepare a Russian speech as well, because I've only learnt a sentence right now.
Yeah. You have to scream Россия, Россия.
Россия, Россия,
Россия священная наша держава, Россия любимая наша страна. Alright, we'll save it for the professionals who are gonna sing the national anthem. But hey, other question: Do you really expect? What do you think about the Russian track, the Sochi 18 corner track?
Mate, it's a beautiful track. Like Sochi is just a beautiful place for racing, sports. I mean, they had the Olympic Games there, didn't they?
In 2014. Yeah, 2014 Sochi. Yeah, same
beautiful
thing.
Place
same
for
arena.
sport.
Yeah, it was, and good. Those were good games actually, what they held in the Olympics. I never forget that. That was very professionally done. So Hey, but thank you very much. And here you go, ladies and
Yeah, no
gentlemen.
problem.
One of the hometown heroes, apart from Ozone Delta, so we have basically two Russian people driving for us in Sochi, which is good. And these are not orders from the minister and president of Russia to get Russian drivers for the Russian Grand Prix. This is, just a voluntarily thing.
For me, I hope it's going to be a good night. Translate to Russian. Будет спокойной ночи.
Спокойной ночи, всего хорошего вам всем. Да, спасибо тебе и до свидания.
I hope I did not muffle that up.
No, you said good night, and yeah, good luck and good night. You said, yeah, that was good. So see ya.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, there we go. We heard a little bit of Russian things. We heard him saying that he's very proud of his heritage, and yeah. And now, before the race is gonna start, ladies and gentlemen, please be quiet as we're gonna sing and hear the national anthem of Russia performed by Katyusha. So, ladies and gentlemen, national anthem of Russia. And that was the national anthem of Vasa before this race is about to start, and now it's lights out and where we go. Дами и господа, вы услышали это гимн Федерации России, и сейчас будем ехать гонку Сочи Аутодром Россия. Это гонка 16, round 16 of the season, and now it's lights out and where we go. And it looks like we have one extra driver who we might have to kick out, so doesn't look like who we'll have to kick out, so we have to kick out Tech. So Delta can have a seat, the hometown hero of Vasa can have a seat, so now it's lights out and away we go, so if you could ready up guys. Ready up, so вот тут услышали гимн России, это будет хорошая гонка у нас. Будем тоже по-русски говорить по этом стриме. I don't know, I don't think I have any Russian viewers that much, or if I have, I've just, you know, said that we might have to speak Russian also in this stream, so that every single person understands, and it's a real honor to race in Russia, my other home country, because I'm double citizen and stuff like that, so yeah, that's a pretty cool gesture also. And now we're about to race in this magnificent Russia circuit, and we have some comments saying that Nolafemma, one of the reserves, he wrote that unfortunately it's full. Yeah, it's full. I apologize. I had to kick out one of the reserve, so so that we will have enough people. But hey, 18 on the track. We have full grid for the race here today. 20 drivers from first to last. Doesn't look like it's gonna rain. And Vasa has always presented a very good racers in EFL. Or in general, in real life also, so I'm gonna put my voice a little bit higher. I don't know why, I don't think it's, there we go. I think now the voice is a little bit better. We have new comments and new messages. Yeah. So now we're gonna wait for these drivers to go out on the track. I'm gonna open my Wikipedia so I know exactly how many corners does this Vasa Sochi track has. Apologize, I don't know that, but hey, it's all cool, man. It's all cool. So yeah, Sochi Autodromo, it has yeah, exact 19 corners, not 18. So it's a 19 corner track. Everybody's still in the pits for some reason. Nobody's going out, which is quite remarkable, quite strange. So yeah, exactly. So somebody's leaving. It's or we're joining, but we have a full grid here today, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just gonna set the stream to Twitter one more time. I hope this I didn't save the link, but it's cool. It's cool. We still have hey, it's good. We have a full grid, so that's awesome. That's very awesome. So and we have first drivers in the track, so we have Sapel and Harry in the track, so, and they're going out with a soft set of tires. That's very good to hear. Very good to see that we have already first drivers out in the track. We have this shape, then we have Felix, then we have Amadi, Trent HT21, Ella, Harry is in the track also, so yeah, it's gonna be party on rock and roll, as we say. Harry's out with the softs. I think the pole position time, what is going to be driven here today, is going to be around 1:30.6 or 1:30.7, and I think that it's possible that it's going to be driven by Viati Sepelele or Viati Sep. How do you like to pronounce his name? It's all cool and dust, but hey, and we're gonna enable track map, obviously, and let's see. He's about to start his lap. I think he's the first driver to start a lap. And if you have any questions about the league, about the owner, about real life, or X yada yada yada, just write me any questions what you feel like doing the live stream, and I will try to answer them as soon as I have time actually to answer to them. And currently I have time, so write some comments and I will answer to them. So yeah, now it's first driver out on the track, started his lap in a Sochi Autodromo track, and we might get the TV pod view out of his lap. He's using the slipstream from the car head, which I believe is in McLaren. His teammate, he a little bit corner cutted, but doesn't look like it's invalidated. So as we have RP who has left from the session, RP has left from the session. So he has disconnected, but I've sent many invites to these drivers here today, so they have the invites, and there we go. That's the first invalidation, and we might go as well to Beate Sape's lap, as he is currently coming towards the end of Sector 2. He hasn't invalidated his lap, and this driver is the leader in the Drivers' Championship, and RP has rejoined back to the session, but there's yellows in Sector 2 and Sector 3. So, but yeah, Sapele is leading the championship by 19 points to New Zealand Cam and to Tevap Chichi, who neither of these drivers couldn't make it here today. So I think after this race it's very unlikely that Beate Sape is going to lose his championship if he doesn't have many DNFs in the last 5 races, or then he's just some disconnections or something, because he's a very fast driver, very honourable driver, and the lap time he's going to set is a 1:30.9. So immediately in his first back lap he set a high 1:30 lap time, so that was very impressive from Beate Sape. And we have Susie Matley. Do we have anybody else going to the finish, coming towards the close to the finish line? And I believe is it going to be Hamadi has invalidated, so Jack King is coming towards Sector 1. So I believe it's going to be Susie Matley. New Zealand Cam is actually racing. I apologize, I almost missed his name, but he is racing. I have to confirm he is racing. And Felix had a 1:32.3, which moves him to I will enable tires very shortly, which moves him to P2 at the moment. So, and he said this lap with soft set of tires. Susie Matley does a 1:37.5, but the two Germans having a 1:2 at the moment. And we're going to follow what Aspect 05, also known as Kevin Harrison, very fast driver. TM Pierre Hansen goes P3 with 1:32.5, and we have Aspect who's retired from this race. Aspect has retired from the qualifying, so what on earth happened to Aspect? I might have to get an interview from him, and might have to know what happened to his race, what happened to him. We might have to wait and see, and what really happened to his race. And we're gonna invite him to the party, and we're gonna ask him what on earth really happened in the qualifying for him. So but do not adjust the TV sets, ladies and gentlemen. This is EFL Division 1, and the only division actually in EFL. Round 16 of Russia, Sochi. 5 rounds remaining after this. And I'm your owner commentator of the night, Eric the Lightning Salama. And yeah, as we saw Aspect in his debut, he has crashed out in the qualifying, and I just invited him to the interview box to ask him what on earth happened to him, what on earth. And Vega Visual scores P2 with a 1:32.1, so 2 racing points, looking at the front row lockout at the moment. LPI in his debut in Ferrari moves himself to P4 at the moment. Zach King goes P6, Prentice is in P7, Matley is in P8, and New Zealand Cam with hard set of tyres some reason is just about to finishing his lap. And we have Ozone Delta, who is in his out lap. Ahmadi is in his lap. Snookster is coming towards the end of his lap, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen to his lap time. We're gonna see what's gonna happen to his lap time. So Snookster is coming across the line, and he does a 1:33.5, which moves him to P7 position. P7 position currently, and I'm just gonna quickly set a stream to you guys. It doesn't look like Kevin is gonna come to the interview box, so I think he's in his own party or something, so he's not coming to the interview box. So but Trey Prentice is letting the McLaren driver go, so I think that is Hatsa who is in his lap. Hatsa is in his lap, so we're gonna see how he's gonna deal with it. One moment. He's coming towards the final corners. And the lap time he said it was a 1:32.5, which moves him to P5 position. P5 position at the moment. and Amity has moved himself to P now with 133.7 with the hard set of tires, so 133.7. RP James T is in his lap also, and so is Trent HT21. One moment, I have to do one thing. A moment. So yeah, there we go. Ella Harvey is in his lap also, so, who won the last race in Singapore, the miracle in Marina Bay, basically what happened last week to Harvey in Singapore. So that was a very, very great job from him. So Ella Harvey is coming towards the end of Sector 2, and Sector 2 time is a 104.7, so he's about to challenge the front, and RP James has moved himself to P2 position with 132 and flat. 132 and flat, and RP said he has once again left from the session. He has left from the session once again, so that's very unfortunate for him. And he goes back to the pits. He goes to the pits. So and Trent HT has moved himself to P14 position. I apologize, I'm a little bit rusty. I have to check the messages. I'm getting messages all the time. So Ozone Delta is 8 seconds down on his personal best, but he's currently in P13 position. Snookster is in his lap, but he is in a banker lap. Felix is in, and some reason the game doesn't let me go higher than this, so I have to use it manually. So here's Felix in his lap. So we're gonna follow actually Felix's lap, I think. Actually, Beate Sape is improving by 2:10, so he's about to do 1:30 and 7 or 1:30 and 8. So we'll see what he's about to do. So Beate Sape is coming towards the final corners. He's coming towards the corner 18, and now he's coming towards the corner 19. We'll see what lap time he's about to set. 7.5 minutes remaining of the qualifying session right here, and he said it's a 1:30 and 7.51. 1:37.51. 1:37.51. And he moves himself to P1 position. And Vega Visuals in P3, and we have to see what Felix does. The other German driver, he locks up his brakes a little bit in the last corner, a little bit track extends. And he improved. He did a 1:31.3, but it was invalidated, unfortunately. It would have moved him to P2 position, but it happens. He invalidated, and it was probably because he extended the last corner, and that's why the game didn't, you know, acknowledge his lap. How do we say it correctly? So yeah, New Zealand Cam is in his lap also. He's with soft tires, but behind him is a driver with in Racing Point. Or is it Beate Sape actually? Beate Sape is keeping out with Cam with 0 EOS, or then he just let Cam go. But would be really worrying if Sape would have kept up with Cam, the driver he's fighting for championship, because Sevapcic is not racing here today. So yeah. We'll see. Sector 2 lap time 1:05.4, so currently not very good, and he track extended, and that's game over. But the game didn't, in my opinion, the game didn't give a penalty for that. So is the corners on regular? No, it's on strict. It's on strict. Yeah, but he track extended, okay, but he's going back to the pit, so he's probably lost a lot of time doing that. So Ella Harris in his out lap. Beate Sape going back to the pits. Vega Visuals is in his lap, and he has also invalidated his lap. Felix is about to start his second lap. Hartza is in his out lap. A lot of drivers in the pits at the moment. So if you have any questions, please write them to me. Jay Prentice. We're gonna follow Jay Prentice here. Jay Prentice is a very, very you know, good driver, and he scored points in his debut in Singapore, getting P7 from last place. So I have to write this one thing. So there we go. Jay Prentice 678 in P12. Toro Rosso is coming towards the end of Sector 2. 4 minutes 53 seconds remaining in a qualifying session. Who's gonna take pole position? Who will be second place? And who will be in third place? And New Zealand Cam has left from the session. New Zealand Cam has disconnected from the session. So a lot of drivers leaving and rejoining. I'm not quite sure what on earth is happening with Codemasters' servers, so then people are just leaving so they could get their cars back to the pits and then they could drive it, which, you know, it's not illegal in the EFL, but next season it will be. We have 10 viewers at the moment. 132.2 by Jay Prentice. He moves himself to P4 position with 132.296, just ahead of Felix in Williams car. Felix, the German driver, is driving his second or third qualifying lap so far, and we'll see how he's gonna rejoin, how he's gonna defend, how he's gonna not defend, how he's gonna move himself up to the grid. Is he gonna move himself to P2, P3, or even in P1? We never know. He a little bit track extends once again. We have 11 viewers at the moment, so welcome viewers, and there we go. Felix moves himself to P2 with 131 and 5, so 2 Germans having the P1 and P2 front row lockout for 2 German drivers, just like in Singapore last weekend. But we do know what happened last weekend when both German drivers of Sapel and Felix disconnected multiple times, which caused them to get out of the race for win, and it was given towards the driver who is now in last place, who is El Harry, taking his first ever win in the EFL, and first ever podiums, and actually first ever points in the EFL, so that was a miracle in Marina Bay. And 132.3 by Snookster, 007, 007, na 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 na. And yeah, but he's in P6. And TMP 12 viewers at the moment, so 12 new viewers, do not adjust your sets. I'm the owner and commentator of EFL, Eric the Lightning Salama. Round 16 was a Sochi, and if you have any questions, what you feel like writing to the live stream chat, I will answer them happily, very happily, in Finnish, English or Russian. All languages, because I'm Russian and Finnish, and I speak really good English also. Apart from that, I don't have that typical Finnish valley accent, but I don't have that Russian accent either. Но я говорю по-русски, но у меня такого акцента нету. I don't have that, you know what, the bad guys from Die Hard, from Negotiator, from those, I don't have that bad accent of Russia. That's I love that accent, by the way. TMP is in his lap, RPC is in his lap. Ozon Delta, the hometown hero, the hometown of Russia. Россия слетенная наша держава, is in his lap. So Ozon Delta is a little bit lagging, but because he's a hometown hero, we're gonna give him a little bit more TV time, and he's improving ahead of Russian Federation, ahead of Russian Prime Ministers, ahead of Russian President, ahead of the nation of Russia, ahead of Vladimir Putin. We'll see how he's going to do. I'm really surprised that he's still in P13. The Russian driver in Sochi in P13 position. You know, you're going to get cool-ass because of this. You're going to go to Siberia. You're going to go wherever you feel like it. But he's coming towards the final corners, and he is doing 133.7. He improves his time, but it doesn't move his position, and New Zealand Cam has rejoined back to the session. So if he has any luck, he has some kind of chance of making one lap. One flying lap if he corner-cuts the track well. Harry is coming from the pits, and so is Sapel, Osei Felix, RP James, Vega Visuals, RP Seti, Jay Prentice is in the pits, Snookster is in the pits. Snookster is in his lap actually. So we'll see how Snookster is gonna do. So I think he's the only first driver to actually, never mind. Vega Visuals is down by 2/10, but we know how much he can improve in the last corners of the track. So coming towards the corner 13, corner 14, corner 15. I mean, he's coming towards the corner 15, corner 16, and Vega Visuals has retired, so he has balled his lap, and that's his qualifying over, and it's going to be P4 at the moment. But 2 Germans of Shape and Felix having the front row lockout at the moment. So Felix is coming like a Thundercat, coming like a new ocean from the sea to EFL and getting these good results recently in qualifying. So GG for him, kudos for him. Ozon Delta, the hometown hero of Russia, has retired from the session. So that was something. So who is actually first one to start a lap? I think that's Hansen, but he has also balled his lap, as I see, and that's his qualifying over. Yeah, it is. And Ahmedi is in his lap. We have Rob of Giza also have Russian driver. So Susi Obi is in his lap. Susi Matley is in his out lap. Harry is in his out lap, but how is it possible because we have 0 seconds remaining in qualifying session? So how it is possible. But Ahmadi is improving his lap by 1.5 seconds, so attaboy Ahmadi, you're the man. Let's see how we're gonna do. I'm gonna watch any new comments. We don't have any new comments here today, ladies and gentlemen. Any new comments, but Ahmadi is coming towards the final corners of the track, and he's coming towards the corner 17. He's coming towards corner 18, and now finally corner 19. He's getting the slips in from the McLaren driver ahead. The McLaren a little bit got ahead of him, but he moved to P3 position with 1:31.6, but he couldn't challenge Felix's lap time, and Felix and Shape are still P1 and P2. But and Shape is improving, doing purple in a sector 1. But we're gonna follow his lap very shortly. Harry's in his lap. Trent is in his lap, also started his lap. Warburg is going to the pit, so that's he's qualifying over. Jack King is in his lap. Hartza has started his lap. Prentice has also started his lap. RP James has started his lap. So I think it's VRT Shape who will be the first driver to finish his lap, and he's improving by 1/10 of his time. So we're gonna see my predictions of 1:30.6 or 1:30.5, like I predicted here today, and those are already very, very good lap times. And currently he has pole position by over 8/10 to his German companion Felix Negua, and he's coming towards the final corners. We'll see how this German driver in Racing Point team is going to do. And he's coming towards the final corners, and he sets at 1:30.4. 1:30.4, ladies and gentlemen. 1:30.4. That is big cojones. That is big dick maneuvers from VRT Shape. Harry moves himself to P2 with 1:31.4. And how is Felix going to do? Is he able to challenge Harry or VRT Shape? But VRT Shape he has no regard for human life. He just said, I'm going to take pole position by 1 second in Wasser. And that was very impressive. But how is Felix going to do? And he takes 1:31.1, but it's invalidated. So Harry, it's same order in qualifying, but it was in Singapore. It is Chappelle, it is Harry, and it is Felix Negua. P1, P2, and P3, unbelievable scene. Same order as we had in the qualifying of Singapore. And here is your grid. Chappelle, Harry, Felix, that's the top 3. Amadi, RP James, Vega Vizos, Hartza, Shea, Trent, Prentice, Snokester, LPI, Pierre, Jack King, Ozone Delta, Hometown Hero of Wassa in P15, Gizo in P16, 2 Wassons basically in 15 and 16, not good for Putin. Suzy Obi in P17, Matlin P18, Cam in P19, Aspect in P20, and I will try to do it quickly in Wasson. One moment. Это результаты от квалификации. Шапелин первое место, Харри второй, Феликс третий, Амеди четвертый, Джеймс пятый, Визос шестой, Харцис седьмой, Шей восьмой. Okay, that was it, but I got that top 8 correctly, but I had to save video clip and also, take screenshots for Twitter later on. So, yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna rain at all, so, and we have Amadi, Hartza blocked me, man, and then few swear words for fuck's sake. So, yeah, if he did, he just send it to me or VRT Sapel LA. You know the drill, you know who to send it to, and yeah. But hey, 20 drivers, full grid for the race of Sochi, just like in Singapore, we had full grid, so no problemos there. So, we're just gonna wait until the formation lap is about to start. I have to wait to my... One moment. And here we go. Pole position and P2. P1 and P2 by Racing Point and McLaren drivers of VRT Shape and Harry. I will go TV pod. So, VRT Shape in pole position, Harry in P2, and Felix in P3, Amadi in P4, RP James in P5. So let's start again. VRT Shape in his Racing Point in pole position. McLaren Racing drivers, Harry in P2, Felix Negua in Williams Racing Martini in P3, Amadi in a Renault car in P4, RP James in Mercedes MG Petronas car in P5, Vega Visuals in Racing Point team driver in P6, Vega Visuals, P7 McLaren F1 team racing drivers, Hartza, P8 Alfa Romeo driver, RP Say, P9 Mercedes MG Petronas driver, Trent XT21, Toro Rosso driver in P10, Jay Prentice, both Ferrari drivers of Snookston LPI in P11 and P12, TM Pierre and Jack King, Red Bull and Toro Rosso drivers in P13 and P14, Hometown heroes, the two Russian drivers of Renault and Alfa Romeo drivers, Ozone Delta and Robo Giza in P15 and P16. Obi and Muttley, two Haas drivers in P17 and P18, and then P2 in the Drivers' Championship in Red Bull car P19, and Aspect, Lonely, and last Williams driver in P20. Well, at least one thing is clear, we have Williams in the last place, which is very, very realistic, so let's all give kudos to Kevin Aspect for doing the right thing and getting the last place with Williams. So come on, let's all be honest. And like Michael Buffer says, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to watch 27 rounds of... Welcome to the main event of 27 rounds in Russia Sochi, round 16, and drivers, start your engines. Let's get ready to rumble! As we have Sape, Harry, Felix, Amity, James, Visuals, Hatsa, Shay, Trent, Prentice, Snookster, LPI, Pierre, Checking, Delta, Robo, Obi, Muttley, Cam, and Aspect lining us to the grid. Then we're gonna wait for the FIA to give permission for the 5 red lights and let the rumble begin. As we're waiting for the FIA, as we're waiting for the Williams driver of Aspect lining into the grid, we're waiting for the last Williams driver to the grid. And then it's lights out and where we go, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, but I know this is a glitch start, so it will do. There we go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Grand Prix of Russia Sochi, round 16 of the season. And look at the start Viatisep already got. He's already half a field ahead of everybody else. And it looks like it's a very clean start. A lot of people track extending, but no crashes at the moment. And as I said, there's a Thomas out of the race. That is Jay Prentice, and that's put on the VSC here today, ladies and gentlemen. We have already first casualty here today, and that is Jay Prentice, 6, 7, 8. And there was a massive crash in the behind also. There's a lot of people losing positions. But oh my goodness me, the Toronto driver's crash was unbelievable. But neither than that, it was a clean start. But we have VSC in lap 1 here today, ladies and gentlemen. And we have RPC who got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. We have a lot of things happening in the front. And we had a Red Bull driver of Cam losing positions and losing front wing. And Pierre also, well, losing positions. Viatisep got a 5-second penalty for track extending. He has received a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. He has received 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, so that's unfortunate for his race. That's very unfortunate. And now it's lights out where we go, and he has over 1.5 second lead over Harry Cooper, who is in P2, and there's a big train behind of Harry actually, and Amity in P3, Felix in P4, challenging Amity and Harry for P2 and P3 positions. And we have Harter who's overtaking RP James for P5 position. Harter's overtaking RP James for P5 position. Felix is going side by side with somebody, and that's actually two Mercedes drivers challenging Harter for P5 position. It's a Finnish driver against British driver who's going to win the battle, and it's the Finnish battle in McLaren winning the battle and moving himself to P5 and landing the two Mercedes drivers scrap for P6 and P7. Harry has set it the fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 1 minute 45.6. But that lap is gonna get annulled last lap because we had a VSC in that lap, so these drivers are gonna draw a little bit faster than that. And there's actually a Hudson up in James going side by side with each other. I want to see better camera angle. Why can't I see this from good camera angle? And there we go. Hudson got the defended the position brilliantly, but the Mercedes driver is trying to attack around the inside of him, and we'll see how he's gonna do. He's gonna dive up the inside. No, he's not. He's waiting for the better opportunity, and we have 3 drivers in the back. Vega Visuals, Muttley and Cam pitting for new tires and new front wings. And Snookster in P8, LPR in P9, Jack King in P10. Hearts are 1.6 seconds behind of the pack in the front, but there's a massive fight for P2 right now between Amity, Felix and Harry, and you know, Viatisep is already pulled away, but he has over 5 seconds stop and go penalty. He has 5-second penalty which he has to serve in the pit lane. And Amity is challenging Harry Cooper on the inside, and he's going to go for the maneuver. No, he's not. He's waiting for the DRS, a better opportunity. But this has given a chance for Felix to come back to this battle for P2 between Harry between McLaren, Renault and Williams. Jesus Christ, it's really nostalgic seeing McLaren, Renault and Williams fighting for P2 position. Brings me the year 2000 back to Formula 1 where Willie McLaren, Renault, Williams, Ferrari were fighting for positions. And VLT shape, oh it was Benetton back then, but 31.35.4 by VLT shape, which is the new fastest lap, and we have Snookster pitting. Snookster is already pitting, so he has lost his front wing. And now Ahmadi is going side by side with Harry. He's leaving in him enough space, and it looks like Ahmadi is getting a maneuver done. Yes, he is. He opened his DRS and he got the maneuver done. He is overtaking Harry for position, but Harry track extend massively, but fairly he didn't overtake off the track and he lifted off, so GG for him. But as Hata is still fighting with RP James, and followed by them is Trent. They have LPY in P8, Jack King in P9, RP in P10, Ozone Delta, the Hontan, Hugo Vossa in P11, Robo Giza in P12, Pierre in P13, Kevin in P14, or Aspect in P14, he's also known as Kevin, Abby in P15, Visuals in P16, Snookster P17, Camp P18, Matlin P19. But the battle, what we are concerned now is between P4 and P3, and of course between P6 and P5, and P6, P5, P7 I mean. But we'll see, is Felix going to be able to make the maneuver on Harry, who's lost a lot of ground on Amity at the moment, and it looks like he got the maneuver done. Easy and simple by Felix, but if Felix wants wide, then that allows Harry to keep the third place, and Hatsa has defended off the Mercedes driver. So two McLaren drivers making this race very interesting, defending from, and New Zealand Cam has left from the session. New Zealand Cam has left from the session, so he has had enough. He has rage quitted, and Hatsa got a penalty for exceeding track limits. And we'll see what Felix is going to do against Harry. That battle for P5 is looking very, very tasty at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Felix and Harry should be easy maneuver for Felix, and there we go. Whoop-bam, bam, bang, bang, Eric Talk. He got the maneuver done. And Hatsa is defending for RP James. Hatsa is not so easy to overtake then. Harry, but RP James got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, but they're going side by side with each other. They survived it neat and clean, but who is going to give in? Who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? They a little bit tap each other, but it's fine, it's racing. It doesn't look like they have damage. They tap the wheels with each other, and yeah, very, very good battle between McLaren's and Mercedes drivers. So very good. Tough but fair battle, and they go side by side with each other. I hope they're gonna go side by side once again. And that was a beautiful overtaking maneuver from RP James D, who has promoted himself to P5 position. But that was a beautiful overtaking maneuver in corner 7, corner 8 combinations. But that will allow Hatsa to get DRS open from RP James D, but he's out of DRS basically. And there's a massive trend behind the P5 battle. So Jesus Christ, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we're still gonna witness World War III. And Harry is still keeping up with Felix. And Amadi, VLT Shape already has over 4-second gap to Amadi, and New Zealand Cam has rejoined back to the session, so that was a disconnection from his point of view, and we'll see what is Harry gonna able to challenge Felix for the position or not. We're gonna see, and we have actually also between Hatsa James and Trent HT21, and now Harry is opening his DRS, and we'll see what he's able to do. Is he gonna dive up the inside of Felix Negro or not? He's gonna wait for a better opportunity. He's waiting for the better opportunity, but and Hatsa is keeping up, but he wasn't able to make the overtake maneuvers make it stick. He wasn't able to get close enough for him. And Trent is now under pressure from Jack King 32 as they almost go side by side with each other. But are we gonna see Kimi Räikkönen dive bomb on him or not? As remember, Kimi dive bombed on Valtteri in that corner with 2015 both drivers crashing out. Good battle, but so sad they both crashed out. LPY in P9, RP in P10, Ozone Delta in P11, and Hatsa got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings here today. TM Pierre in P12, Robo and Giza in P13, Aspect in P14, Obi in P15, and you can see the rest. So very big gaps, very big gaps. I'm going to see gap for leader. So first drivers already might get lapped very shortly. In around 30 seconds they might get lapped. So but hey, safety car can come, anything can happen. So yeah, Harry is still keeping up with Felix. Not really, barely, well 8/10, so it's good, it's good. But there's a massive fight for P5. There's like from P5 to all the way to P9 battle for you know, and Viatisep is pitting. Viatisep is already pitting, so why is he pitting? Is he gonna come to show that 5 seconds stop and go penalty? And so is Felix Negua is pitting also, so is this the time to pit with soft set of tires? So what on earth are these drivers doing? And he has that 5 seconds stop and go penalty to serve. We forgot about that almost. So he now is out of the pits and he's taking the medium set of tires, and Hatsa is pitting to change his front wing. Felix has just rejoined behind of Viatisep, so he got very close to Viatisep, but where is Viatisep gonna come back to? Is he gonna come back to Peter Chino? Yes, he is. They both have clean track ahead of them, but that 5 second stop and go penalty made it a little bit harder to Viatisep, and also Delta got a 3 second penalty for multiple warnings, and all of these drivers basically cutting corners, but an Aspect is getting ahead of Warbo Giza now for P10 position. Also Delta has been moved to P9. Pierre is in P8 battle with Ozone Delta, RP in P7, LPR in P6, Jack King in P5, Trent in P4, RP James in P3, Harry in P2 and Amity in P1, and we're gonna see Amity pitting or not. Because we do know that Viatisep has that 5 second stop and go penalty, and if he's gonna pit, it's gonna maybe an LPY and Jack King are going side by side with each other. Who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? They still go side by side with each other, and looks like LPY got the maneuver down for P5 position. And also Delta Gut is crashed out with TMPR. He's crashed out with TMPR. So that was very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for both of their races. And Obi is... Oh, he's battling with Viatisep, and this is very frustrating for Viatisep and they go side by side with each other. Who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? And looks like Viatisep got the maneuver done, and very easy maneuver for him, and that was P12 for him. And also Delta is pitting for new front wing, I assume. For new front wing. And Snookster 007 is getting a 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. Also Delta is chasing his front wing, and basically no battles going on at the moment. It's probably between TMPR and Robo Giza at the moment. Trent HT getting a 3 second penalty for multiple warnings. Trent HT is 1.5 seconds behind of RP James. Ella Harris 3.8 seconds behind of Armady, and Armady has a big lead. So there's a big battle for. There's a possible battle for P5, and now Felix is getting passed off Suzy Obi, and he just got ahead of him. Almost both of these drivers crashed out, but that didn't happen, and these drivers got ahead of Suzy. Both of these drivers who pitted got ahead of Suzy Obi, and now Suzy Obi got a 3 second penalty for multiple warnings. TMPR has a big battle for P9 between Warbo Giza, and they're going side by side with each other, and doesn't look like Pierre Hansen was able to make the maneuver done. No battles going on, unfortunately, at the moment in the track. No battles going on. Only this one battle. And Ella Harry is pitting. Harry is currently pitting. And we'll see where it's going to resolve. But Amity is extending his stint. So I'm not really sure why he's not responding to the pit stop. But Viatisep and Felix did. But I'm going to see. Yeah, he's going to probably rejoin behind of Viatisep and behind of Felix, because he was so much behind them. But I don't know, it's very close, and actually TMPR and Robo Giza go side by side with each other, and there we go. Pierre Hansen got the maneuver done on Robo Giza, and they're both crashed out almost with each other. So and Harry just rejoined behind of Felix, so Felix just kept the track position ahead of against Harry, and Series Class Round 8 continues between TMP Hansen and Robo Giza, and these drivers are really fighting with each other, and I don't know what is the Haas driver doing ahead of them, but that means that Felix and Viatisep are catching towards them. Only battle actually going on in the track at the moment. Well, there's Harry against Felix, but they're following each other also, and one battle between Snookster and Ozone Delta. And Jack King is getting ahead of LPY, so that's a maneuver down there. And Pierre Hansen is trying to make the maneuver on Robo Giza. They go side by side with each other, and Hooligan, who has the bigger cojones. And Pierre Hansen, once again we overtook them, but Viatis Sepp is catching them little by little so much each lap, so but these drivers are, RP James is spinning. He's the first Mercedes driver to pit at the moment, so we might be able to see some drivers spinning here today with mediums very shortly. And he's taking the hard set of tires, so I'm not really sure about that strategy. And Robog is got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, but now Viatis Sepp is in that battle, 3 wide battle, and it's very hard now for Viatis Sepp. He has to be very careful because there's 3 drivers battling with each other and basically line changing, which is not allowed in EFL basically. So and if somebody reports line movement, that will be penalized harshly. And now Viatis Sepp is trying to overtake P8 of Robot Giza, but it's not easy, but he has so much more pace, he has so much more straight line pace, but Robot Giza is defending the inside line barely, but a little bit, but yeah, now he got past him. So the tire difference is so big between Robot Giza and Viatis Sepp, and then he just let him go, but it really looked like it's a big tire difference. And Viatis Sepp is getting the maneuvers done on the slower cars ahead. And he's basically pushing Pierre Hansen in the track, and yeah, it's a very easy maneuver from Viatis Sepp, who gets the maneuver done. There we go, nice and simple, easy as you like it, and that's how you take 2 positions in basically 3 corners. And there we go, he didn't lose basically at all any time. And we have Trent ST who's retired from the session. Trent ST has retired from the session, so why on earth did he retire? That's a safety car, and that is a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. And who is going to pit? We have LPI pitting. Ahmadi is in his lap. Is RPC going to pit? Yes, is Kevin Aspect going to pit? Yes, he's also from last place. LPI getting a 5-second penalty for, and Susi Motley gets a drive to penalty for spinning under the safety car. But this gives them good advantage. This gives every single driver good advantage except Jack King and Ahmadi. And we'll see, is everybody going to pit or not? We're going to see about that. We have Javi who's staying out. We have Felix who's staying out. But the safety car has brought new elements for this race, ladies and gentlemen. It's brought new elements, and Kevin returning back in P10 position, and Vega Visuals gets a drive to penalty for speeding under the safety car. And that was very unfortunate retirement for Trent HT21. And Aspect taking the hard set of tires, of course, because he's with the mediums. And Ahmadi will be doing his pit stop very shortly also. So we'll see what's gonna happen, what tires he's gonna take. He's gonna take the mediums, or he's gonna take the hards, and the hards gets a 5-second time penalty for multiple warnings. 5-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And cam warning, yes, I got swiped in safety car VSC, yes, I was ready to give up, but there you go, never give up. Our safety car might always come, so never give up, ladies and gentlemen, never give up. And I don't know, is the delta time still on, ladies and gentlemen? Is the delta time still on? Because if it is, it's gonna give Ahmadi a great chance, very good chance to rejoin back in the lead. So this was a strategy maneuver for him, but we have to remember he has that 10-second time penalty from Singapore, so which he got because of the incident. So Ahmadi has 10-second penalty for this race, so if he wants to win, he has to get over 10-second lead to other drivers, as we have Jack King 32 who's got a 5-second time penalty for spinning in a pit lane. Jack King is spinning also, and Viatis Sepp, is he gonna pit or not? But Ahmadi is gonna come back to the lead, but he has that 10-second time penalty, unfortunately. If he didn't have that, then it would have been a big shame. And Jack King has a 5-second stop and go penalty. And is Ahmadi gonna return back to the lead? Yes, he is. He's leading the race, but still a great strategy for him. But it's still, I have to say, 10-second time penalty for in Wasser. So I almost forgot that, but I just read Stewart's incident. Was it Ahmadi or was it somebody else? But it was unfortunately Ahmadi. Pierre Hansen is in P3 position. Has he done a pit stop? He has not done a pit stop. He has not done a pit stop. So which is really worrying, that why on earth he didn't do a pit stop. And now the safety car is out. Safety car is basically out, and yeah. We have to wait until the safety car ends. And same in Vasan. We have to, нам надо подождать, как эта safety car уйдет от трассы, и потом мы можем ехать. Это мы 11 круга 27-го, и AMD лидирует эту гонку. Победу, наверное, не получит, потому что у него это пенальти 10 секунд за прошлой гонки в Сингапуре. Из-за этого ему надо, если он хочет выиграть, ему надо 10 секунд получить для Виртиса Пелеля и для Феликса, если он хочет эту гонку выиграть. That was basically, it wasn't me explaining that AMD has to get 10-second lead if he wants to win the race from Felix and Viertisape and the penalties from the last race in Singapore. As we are in Russian and I have Russian and I have double citizenship, so I kind of have to say that. Knowing 3 languages fluently, basically. Well, I think Russian and Finnish are fluent. I think also English, the British language or English language is very solid also, but yeah, it's not that typical Finnish rally accent what you hear when Finnish drivers speak, but a little bit, but not that much. So as Harry is now taking, for some reason, Pierre Hansen and Felix Negua, and Pierre Hansen is not pitting. He's not pitting, and there's going to be a big roadblock. It's going to be a very big block for these drivers behind of him, which are Felix and Harry. LPI has taken the soft set of tires, so can the softs go 15 laps in this race or not? Guys, can it go 15 laps? Oh, and LPY gets a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and I saw that. Yeah, and under the safety car you can't extend like that, but yeah, we have to see. If he sends POV, we have to of course see how it looks like in his POV, but you have to be very careful with the track limits under the safety car. The game gives easily 5 seconds, and Chris Walker saying Volvo cost me and Cam this race, slammed into 3 cars. Well, of course, send footage to VRT Sapelele, the guy here, or then to me, but I prefer if you send it to this guy VRT Sapelele, the official steward in the league, who is probably one of the fastest drivers and cleanest drivers and smartest drivers what I've seen in my years of racing. So to him, yeah. Pierre Hansen in P3 with 11 lap old mediums. Only driver at the moment who has not done a pit stop, which really amuses me that he hasn't done a pit stop. Harry in P5, RP1 in P6, James in P7, Jack King in P8, RP7 in P9, Bobo Giz in P10, Hartza in P11, Aspect in P12, Ozone Delta in P13, Obi in P14, Visuals in P15, and P16 Snookster, P17 Cam, P18 Motley. And now safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in this lap, so we're gonna see Armady slowing down the field, doing the Lewis Hamilton thing, and he's really slowing down the field. This is what we see from VIP Sapelele from when he's leading the race. But we have to remember, Armady has that 10-second penalty, so he has to get over 10 seconds if he wants to win this race. He slammed his brakes so when I was behind him. Alright, cheers. And yeah, he's driving 53 kph per hour, so that's really amazing. That's really amazing. And now I think it's lights out and where we go for the Grand Prix of Russia once again. Now he's put it pedal to the middle. And Viertisape has spun. So Championship leader has spun it. So there's a major controversy for the Championship lead. How is gonna happen? What is gonna happen to his lead? Is Cam gonna get something ahead of him? What on earth happened to him? And he just basically spun it. So at the moment, Amedy is leading the race, but it's lights out and where we go, and that was a very shocking start. That was a very shocking moment. Remember, guys, I'm gonna check the stream very shortly. And now Hartz got a 3-second top penalty for multiple warnings. Felix in P3, Harry in P4, LPY in P5, RP James in P6. Jackie in P7 and Obi has without from the session, so I don't know what happened to Obi. Is it going to be a new safety car? Is it going to be a new VSC? And he has without middle of the track basically. So I'm not going to be surprised if it's going to be a new safety car or not. But it's still yellow to sector 1. Armady has over 2.1 second lead, so he's doing the job done. He's making that 10-second gap what he has to do. He's making that 10-second gap what he has to make to win this Grand Prix. Having yellow sector 1, sector 2, once again, is that gonna bring out the safety car? Probably Hatsa has spun it, and yes, Hatsa has spun it, but now Felix and Harry and LPY going side by side with each other, and Harry is getting dive bombed by the Ferrari driver who's with soft tires, and there we go, that's P4 position for him. RP James in P6, Jacking in P7, RP in P8, Robo in P9, Aspect in P10 with the mediums. He split it mid, he didn't take the hard set of tires, which was very smart maneuver in my point, because in Russia, those tires are very slow. And he has already over 3.6 second gap too. And we have yellows in sector 3, and that's Vega Visuals who has crashed out. And yeah, basically it's the same place where his teammate Viat Isabelle spun. Yellows in sector 3, and now Piazza is defending the inside line very aggressively, and but Felix is forcing around the outside, and he got the maneuver done on Pierre Hansen, and there we go. That was the 10 lap tire difference between Felix and Pierre Hansen, and there we go. P2 for Felix Negua. P2 for Felix Negua, and at the moment he's leading the Grand Prix because Amadi has that 10-second penalty to serve from the last race, so he has plus 10 seconds. I'm gonna remind all the new viewers who are watching this race, and then I'll be saying, what the fuck, I was just slammed off the brakes, and Simo Bot saying, calm down ladies, it's a game. Very good well, choice of words from Simo Bot, also known as Jamie Dodger, who is basically my best friend and part of the family. But he's from Brighton, but I'm from Finland, but still part of the family, so kudos to him. And Jamie, just to know, Amadi has 10-second time penalty from the last race, so what was given by a steward via Isabelle. So if he has to get over 10-second gap if he wants to win this race, just to let you know. And LPY gets the maneuver down. Pierre Hansen, who's the only driver at the moment who has not done a pit stop and is losing many positions at the moment. And RPC is returning back to the session. We have yellows in sector 3. We just had a safety car. And also on Delta, the hometown hero of Russia has retired, and that's a new safety car. Second safety car in the last 5 laps. 2 safety cars in 5 laps. And now LPY is spinning, and I'm gonna save the video clip because I don't want it to be over 1 hour race, because I'm gonna make race highlights. A new safety car, a new bloody safety car, and and Amadi is not making pit stops, Felix not making pit stops, but Jack King is making pit stops, and Vega Visuals has like 5 second stop and go penalty for him. And Aspect is currently in P6, and VLT Sape is making a pit stop. He's spinning for the soft set of tires, I believe. So yeah, he's probably gonna take the mediums. He's not trusting the softs. And we have New Zealand Cam who's taking softs. We have LPY who's taking softs. So 12 laps with softs, possible to see, because probably 3 of those laps are going to be driven behind the safety car. So now, if you have any questions, some kind of questions, just write them to the stream, to the live stream chat, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible, basically. But yeah, 2 safety cars in the last 5 laps. So hey, this race is becoming more interesting at the moment, but it's not good for Amadi because he had over 4-second lead at the moment, and Robo Giza has left from the session, so that's 2 Russian drivers out over middle of the race, so that's very unfortunate for Russian people everywhere, so including myself. So yeah, now the safety car is gonna be out for 3 more laps, and we have a Seymour Bots riding. I know, I've been watching the whole race, very entertaining. Alright, so you knew that we'll switch our times to 7:30. That's good that's very good. And New Zealand Cam riding Fam Delta just almost took me out, so yeah, but if you didn't get any damage, then you know it's basically but yeah, you can of course send it, but to be at the Sapelele, he's the steward, but yeah, if he almost took you out, but if damage didn't come, then it's really irrelevant, and I won't accept that penalty, because if somebody you need to get a damage to be taken out. And Pierre Hansen is going to the pits, and he's actually very smart now to think about it, but he's gonna rejoin back in the last place. He had to pit immediately when the safety car came out, so yeah, that's the, and he's gonna of course take the soft tires and has a 5-second stop and go penalty, so that promotes everybody by 1 position, obviously. And I actually hope the safety car is gonna leave in this lap, because at the moment, it doesn't look good for Ahmadi. It doesn't look good. I feel sorry for the guy, but well, you have to respect the stewards' decisions. That's the thing. And of course, it's gonna make the race more interesting. But it's almost impossible in Warsaw in 10 laps to make a 10-second lead, because the track is basically only straight lines and 90-degree corners where you don't have to basically brake. You can just lift off in the corners a little bit, and it's basically impossible. And Simon Butts riding from P20 to P6 is making Williams great again. Oh yeah, the new driver, yeah, his name is also Kevin. He's not Tsevaptiti, but Tsevaptiti has internet issues. And that's why he's not racing. But yeah, P20 to P5, Williams great again. He crashed out in qualifying, and GG for him. P5 to basically P4, because Hamadi has the 10-second penalty, so it's basically P4 at the moment. So Felix leading at the moment, having P3, P2, Wobo in P3. Wobo gives him P3, the Wasson Hero. Oh, they have Wasson Hero, he's also in P3, but he's left from the session. So what on earth? He's left from the session, but his AI is in P4. Okay, there we go, never mind. And I don't know what on earth he's trying to do. I have no idea what he's trying to do. But yeah, P5 aspect, or P4 because somebody's penalty, so but we'll see how the race is gonna end up in the end. We'll see. There might be one more safety car, ladies and gentlemen, and Jamie. Oh yeah, I mean, you're Superman. Yeah, I said it wrong. Yeah, I said it wrong. But yeah, safety car is in this lap. Amity is gonna bounce up the field once again. So Amity is doing the Lewis Hamilton basically and driving very slowly, dropping it to 60 kph per hour. We know how Lewis Hamilton does it in real life, so that's a very classy thing to do. Slowing down the field completely. It's like a parking garage out here. It's no regard for human life, and now he's pulling away. That was a very smart pull away from Imadi, that's what she said. And he has already over 9-10 lead over Felix Negua in Williams. And P3, who is Harry, who's track extending, and it's lights out and where we go. Hudson gets a 5-second penalty for track extending once again. And now Wobo Giza is in trouble against Kevin Aspect, Kevin Harrison, driver from IRL Division 2, last season's champion in Division 2, and he's going side by side with Wobo Giza. Who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? Who has the dick to make the mick to result? And there's yellow sector 1, and Sassi Motley was disqualified, and there was a massive crash. There's a massive crash between Motley, Wobo Giza and Aspect, and if that's not a safety car, I don't know what is. If that's not a safety car, I don't know what is, but that was an unbelievable crash between Kevin and Wobo Giza, and that was very unfortunate. Looks like Giza a little bit turned in on him, but yeah. Now RPC has been promoted to P4, Snookster has been promoted to P5, RP James P6, LPY in P7, Jacking in P8, Hartz P9, Cam in P10. Cam he's moving up the field to P9 position. Wobo Giza has left from the session very respectively, and VRT Sape is currently in P10 position, and I don't know what on earth is happening with the McLaren of Hartza. He's just losing a lot of positions at the moment. But Felix is 2 seconds behind of Armadi, and there's yellows in sector 2. Hartza has left from the session, so what on earth happened? Hartza has also retired, but there's yellows in sector 2. Is that going to bring on another safety car or not? Still yellows in sector 2 and sector 3. Are we going to see a safety car? We're going to see massive battles for P7, P6. This race has been very, very interesting. And they go side by side with each other. Red Bull driver, and a little bit clipped him, a little bit clipped New Zealand Cam. New Zealand Cam has lost a little bit of his end plate. And now 2 championship fighters. These drivers are fighting for championship. New Zealand Cam, VRT battling for P9 and P10 positions. So this might be very crucial for Cam. And we have new comments saying Chris Walker, Wobo is a world killer, world kill Wobo. Well, we're in Wasa, so you know I'm not gonna talk bad about him because I'm half Wasan myself. So, but anyways, unbiased commentary. And VRT Sape and Cam and Jack King are fighting for positions. And Snookster P5, LP P4, Harry P3, Felix P2. But at this stage, anybody can actually win this race. We don't know about the penalties. We don't know about anything. Anybody can actually win this race, and now Mercedes and Ferrari drivers are going side by side with each other. Who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? And he got the maneuver done. He's nice and job, easy job, and but the Ferrari driver will get DRS. He will get DRS, and he's gonna dive up the inside. No, he's not, but I think the Mercedes driver is gonna get overtaken very shortly, very soon. And Amedy has over 2.9 second lead. He has over 2.9 second lead. And we're gonna see where three wide, they're gonna go three wide in corner 14. They go side by side with each other, the Ferrari and Mercedes. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but I believe the two Ferraris go side by side. It's never good when two Ferraris are going side by side with each other. Usually that means a crash is gonna happen, but this time the crash didn't happen between the two Ferraris. And now the Toronto driver Jack King is putting his own car to hit this battle, and he might be doing 2-for-1 deal if the Ferraris are not gonna play smartly this battle. But every single driver is very, very close to each other. So I want to see gaps to the leader. So the gap is currently Abdi would still finish in P3 at the moment because he has, I don't know, we have to say after the race. So Snookster gets a 3-second time penalty, for Snookster. And Jack King, VRT is trying to overtake a maneuver on Jack King 32, but he didn't make the maneuver done. He couldn't make it stick. And this is basically the only battle that is going on in the track at the moment. Starting from 2 Ferraris, but battling for P5 to P12. It's P11, I mean. It's very, very interesting. It's a very, very decent job. Seymour Butts, Jamie Whiting, no, I cursed the Williams, yeah, I know, but hey, do you have another Williams driver who is German also, like Cevapcici, but hey, he's in P2, so we have one Williams driver in P2, or technically leading, because of this 10-second penalty. So, and VRT is going side by side with Jack King, and Jack King is showing that he's, there's a massive crash, there is a massive crash. I don't know what that sound was, but there was a massive crash between VRT, Jack King and New Zealand Cam, and all of these drivers have lost their end plates. And are these drivers gonna go to the pits or not? We're gonna see about that. No, they're not going to the pits, but they've lost their end plates. And LPY is getting a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, so we're gonna see what is gonna happen in the front between Mercedes and Alfa Romeo driver. Mercedes driver is trying to attack around the outside. I don't think this is a very nice maneuver, very clean maneuver, but yeah, they made it stick. And now he's lost 2 positions. That was -2 for 1 deal, 1 for 2 deal, if I must say. Okay, not a good joke, but still. And VRT he has got past of his teammate, and New Zealand Cam is losing positions to his teammate at the moment, and 2 Red Bulls going side by side. This is also never a good job. When they go side by side, it's never good. The 2 Red Bull drivers are going to collide with each other. They go side by side with each other, and Cam has completely lost it. It was Pierre Hansen who's completely lost it, but yeah, the Red Bull drivers almost crashed that, but not enough. And we have 7 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. And Obi is riding Baku. Yes, it is. It's like Baku racing. And I said, Rosso, it's very interesting track. I said it to you guys. It's very interesting track. It's some people saying it's a boring track, but it's not boring. If you see real life, it's not boring. And now VRT got passed off Jack King 32. Oh yeah, Jack King 32, and there we go. Easy as you like it. That's just like that. And okay, whoa, and that's Cam out. Cam is out, and he has crashed it in the middle of the track. And is that gonna bring out another safety car or not? He is basically in the middle of the track, and that's a VSC. And that is a VSC, ladies and gentlemen. We have had over 9 drivers retired from the session, and that might put nail to the coffin to Cam's championship chances. Nail to the coffin to his championship chances. He was P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and now if Sapel gets a good enough result, he will extend his lead to 30 to 40 points. And we have only 5 rounds remaining. And we know the pace of VRT Sapel LA. He is one of the fastest drivers in the game, top 13 time trials, and New Zealand Cam riding. Not very nice words, but please, my advice, close the stream, close the TV, close the PS4, close your eyes, or go eat ice cream, go eat chocolate, and then come back later in 30 minutes. But please, whatever you're gonna do, don't start spamming or writing any hurtful messages. That's my advice, because nobody wins in those. And Amedy has over 6-second lead already to Felix, and now it's lights out on where we go. 5-second lead, but we have to see how the penalties are gonna turn out. And it's lights out on where we go for the Grand Prix of yeah, for the last 6 laps of the Grand Prix. And now VRT-Sape is overtaking Snookster for P7 position, so VRT-Sape is man in the mission at the moment. So even though he has front wing damage, so it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that it's affecting me so much. Yellow sector 3. There's a Ferrari probably lost it, or I think it's Kevin Aspect who's lost it, but there's one battle. VRT-Sape is catching up to RPC. And VRT-Sape is opening his DRS, and that's going to be P6 for him. Very easy job like that. There we go. P6, just like that. And Snookster is pitting. And there we go. That's easy maneuver for him. I'm going to inviting to the chat. Remember, IMD has 10-second penalty. I'm going to invite it a little bit later on. So there are 5 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. No battles going on at the moment. Only for P4 position. And it has been very interesting race. I have to say, it's been very interesting race. And any new comments, anything, just write it to me. And Snookster is pitting for new set of softs, so the gaps are very big with all of these drivers at the moment. Well, LPY is still keeping up with Toppy James, so that is something basically. That is something. And VRT-Sape is catching it for LPY, so he might still get a podium out of all this. So with the front wing damage of end plate damage, this only shows the pace of VRT-Sape, that he could easily challenge for the win or for the podium, even with a broken end plate. But he took that 1 second pole position, but always in the race you never know what's gonna happen. So it all started because he spun. And Pierre Hansen is getting a 3-second penalty. And now the Mercedes driver is in big troubles. Toppy James is in big troubles against LPY, and VRT-Sape is putting his nose to this party and could easily make 2-for-1 deal and promote himself to P4 and then challenge for the 3rd and 2nd places, and maybe even win the race. Who knows? And now VRT-Sape is going to dive up the inside. No, he's not. He's waiting for the better opportunity. He's gonna wait until Ferrari is the lonely driver, and now he's gonna make his opportunity stick. He's gonna maybe dive up the inside. He's moving his car to the inside line. He's gonna make the Kimi Räikkönen dive bomb. They go side by side with each other. And who's gonna give in? Who's the bigger cojones? And it's Sape who almost lost his car. They almost recreated the Bottas Kimi Räikkönen incident, but he has to wait for better opportunity. But I respect the dive bomb he made. I respect that. But it almost worked, but it has to go for another lap. And looks like Amedy is making has over 5-second lead over Felix. 5-second lead over Felix, but currently the P1. So currently the top 3 would be Felix, Harry, and RP James T. So if you're lucky, and now the VRT-Sape has made the maneuver done on the Ferrari driver, easy as you like it. That's P5 for VRT-Sape. And even the broken front wings, broken end plates couldn't stop this man. This man is on the wall. He's on fire. He's a very impressive drive here today from VRT-Sape. And who knows, maybe even a win if the penalties are gonna play out. Maybe even a win. Who knows? And RP James is now trying to pull away from VRT-Sape, as I'm gonna put the lead back to interval. As we have VRT-Sape who's trying to maneuver on Mercedes driver. He's going to dive up the inside, and Mercedes lets him go basically, and they go side by side with each other, and a little bit compromised this exit, and that's going to give a Ferrari driver a good chance to put himself to P5. And now RP James has just like that lost 2 positions. Or is he going to give in? He's going side by side with the Ferrari driver. He's not going to give in, and he's going to dive up the inside. No, he's not. He's no, he's not. And that's how he lost 2 positions. That was 1-for-2 deal for RP James. Minus 1-for-2 deal. Bad discount for him. And now VRT-Sape is trying to challenge Harry Cooper for P3 position, or at this stage P2 position. So if there's enough laps, VRT-Sape could actually maybe even win this race. So GG for him for that. And the safety car's probability to come at this stage of time is nearly impossible. We've had over 10 drivers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers retired from the session, so that's really unfortunate. As an owner, it's unfortunate, but as a fan, it's probably been an interesting race for the last 20 laps. And lap 25 out of 27 started from Ahmadi, Felix and Harry in P1, P2, P3. Viotti Sepp is now less than 1 second behind of Ella Harry, but he has that plate damage. But we'll see, he's going to make the maneuver down now. He's putting 0 ERS, and there's a Mercedes trying to challenge Ferrari for P5 position. It looks like Hamilton against Vettel. The same kind of defensive maneuvers as I think, and LPY already has over 10 lap old soft tires, so those tires are not fresh, ladies and gentlemen. They're not fresh. And he's gonna make a last lap, Kimi, last lap, all or nothing moment or not. We're gonna see that in lap 27. And now Viotti Sepp is making the maneuver on Ella Harry and got the maneuver done. And now he's in P3 position. And next up is his German companion, Felix Negua. But other laps gonna be enough for the end for him. And Pierre Hansen has got a 3-second lap penalty for multiple warnings. And now Viotti Sepp is really trying to. And LPY has lost it, he's lost his rear end, and that's promoted up in James back to P5 position. Ella Harry in P4, Sepp in P3, Felix in P2. Ahmadi has over 6.2 second lead, so he needs 3.8 more seconds to win this Grand Prix. And if Felix and Seppel or Sepp start to fight with each other, then you know, anything can really happen, and he's closing down so much on Felix Negua. He's like on another level, it's like really on another level. And this might be a fight for the win. How the penalties are going to play out, I do not know that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to find out in the next 2 laps, and Harry has crashed out. Harry has crashed out in the middle of the track, and that's Harry's chances to get a podium done and dusted, and that was very unfortunate for his race. Very, very unfortunate for his race, and he's basically blew it in the second to last lap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ah, that's how his race done. That's how his race done, ladies and gentlemen. And that's our 10th retirement of the session so far, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't what I wanted to see from Harry's race. He was doing such a good job, and now Viotti Sepp is only 1.7 seconds behind of Felix Negua. 1.7 seconds behind of him. 1.6 seconds, so it's getting closer and closer. No battles going on in the track at the moment. 6.6 seconds to 6.6 seconds to Ahmadi, but penalties, and in the end are gonna calculate how is the result really gonna be. Viotti Sepp 1.3 seconds behind of Felix Negua now, and we're gonna start the last lap very shortly. Ahmadi is still leading. But we never know what's gonna really happen. We're gonna follow the battle between Viotti Sepp and between Ahmadi. But at the moment the podium would look like it's Ahmadi, Felix, Viotti Sepp and Ahmadi, but we never know. It's 7.2 seconds between Felix and Ahmadi, and 0.6 seconds between Felix and Viotti Sepp. The 2 German drivers are gonna fight for the win, fight for the lead. And is Viotti Sepp gonna dive up the inside? No, he's not. He's waiting for the better opportunity, but they're losing all the time. They're losing time to Ahmadi, and now Viotti Sepp is gonna go try to overtake on the outside of the corner. It's last lap, all or nothing moment, and he got the maneuver done. Very easy maneuver for Viotti Sepp, who after he spun lost his end plates, and he's back in P2, or basically yeah P2, but we don't know how the penalties are gonna play out, and we do know Ahmadi's 10-second lap penalty. But at the moment the top 3 would look like Viotti Sepp, Felix and Ahmadi. P1 Felix, Viotti Sepp, P2 Felix, and P3 would be Ahmadi, who doesn't have a headset unfortunately, so we're gonna only hear 2 drivers interviews here today, ladies and gentlemen. And Nola Femwarning, eBay sells cheap balls. Alright, I don't know how that involves in anything, how that's relevant to this race, but anyways, Ahmadi has done everything correct here today. He had to make the 10-second lead, but we have to see how it's gonna play out in the end. I'm gonna put gap to the leader, so I will know who really is gonna win the Grand Prix. But at the moment, If he doesn't have any penalties and Aviati Sepp and Felix have penalties, it means Amadi did really win this Grand Prix, but Amadi is coming across the line, but who is really going to win this race? Is it going to be Sepp, or is it going to be Felix, or is it going to be Amadi? We're going to find it out very shortly, and Aviati Sepp is coming across the line, and it is Aviati Sepp who has won this Grand Prix. Aviati Sepp has won this Grand Prix. Amadi has finished in P2, and Felix Negua has finished in P3 position. So it is Aviati Sepp who's won this race here today. From last place, spun on lap 20 or lap 19 in the last place, lost his end plate, pitted, and still was able to win the Grand Prix. So Aviati Sepp has won this Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. And Felix Negua in P3, Amadi in P2, RP James in P4, Say in P5, LP1 P6, Jack in P7, Hansen in P8, Snooks to P9, and Kevin Aspect in his debut is gonna get 1 point for Williams. So he still got 1 point for Williams after all of that, so kudos for him. As there we go, he's just crossed out, so I'm just gonna write to the stream that, or to the chat that Sepp wins the second. Felix third. There we go, and that's basically we're gonna skip this because Aviati Sepp really won this Grand Prix. So Grand Prix really is that Aviati Sepp in P1, Amadi in P2, Felix in P3, James in P4, Shane P5, LP1 P6, Jack King in P7, Pierre in P8, Aspect in P9, Snooks in P10, and then retirements from Harry to Sossi Matley. So 10 retirements, 10 drivers finishing the race, and that was very, very unbelievable Grand Prix we saw here today. Very unbelievable Grand Prix, and we're gonna get to these podium interviews. We're gonna see how these drivers are what they're gonna think, and then we're gonna hear the national anthem, the winner constructors national anthem. So but very, very interesting race. I'm gonna invite these drivers to the interview box, starting from the race winner, starting from P2, P3, and I just have to see. I hope Amadi has new headset. I really hope that he has. I remember he didn't have last time, but when he finished in the podium, but he's not actually online. But oh my god, my PSN is fucking with me. We have to write it manually then. We have to wait, ladies and gentlemen, for few more minutes. We're gonna get this drivers interview shortly. But this piece of shit PS4 is not finding anybody. There we go. Aviati Sepp, first driver. Then we're gonna write how do you write this name? F3. Why do you have to have such a... Can you just put your name to Felix or something? Because and we got a race winner here today, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna wait for P2 as I'm trying to invite Felix and Amadi. Of course, Amadi finishing in P2. Hopefully he has headset with him. But I'm gonna invite Amadi to the party, and then we're gonna let the interview start. And we have Felix Negua, the P3 driver, pitting here today, and we're gonna wait for Amadi if he's gonna come. If he's not, then that's really big problems. But we're gonna wait for 5 more seconds. So but drivers, do you have your voiceovering on?
Yes, sir.
Alright, we're gonna start from the race winner Aviati Sepp. Unbelievable Grand Prix. You took pole position by 1 second. You spun in lap 18. Tell us what happened in there. But when I end the questions, you spun in lap 18. You lost your end plate, but you were still able to win a Grand Prix. So was this the best race you've driven in EFL? And of course, you got 25 points more to New Zealand Cam, who retired, and Sevap Cici, who once again couldn't make it because of German internet.
Yeah, so I spun because of cold tires, obviously, and yeah, it was my best race. Yeah, it was hard to come back, but I managed to do it. So yeah.
So I think you have almost 50-point lead in the championship at the moment. If you have to calculate that after this race, I'm not really sure, but it's close to 50 or 48 or something. So
yeah,
as we have
40.
Something like 40 or something like that, but as we have 5 rounds remaining, do you see that it's possible that you would somehow lose the lead, or are you very confident now that this title is mine?
I mean, it's still possible to lose it, but I I don't busted it.
Yeah, but so you're really certain that. So this means, ladies and gentlemen, that Sapalele is 100% certain that he's not gonna lose the lead of the championship. So it was amazing. No, it is what he said, man. You're not gonna lose the lead. Is that what he said? So okay,
Yes.
we have New Zealand Cam and Sevav Titi watching the stream, or hopefully they're watching the stream. So any message for them at the moment? Any message for the losers of these races at the moment? Say something. Be entertaining. Say.
Fuck you.
There we go. Fuck you guys. There we go. That's man. That's how man speaks. So your new world champion of EFL, not yet, but after 5 rounds. That's Viati Sape. All right. Congratulations for the win. Best race so far for you. But Felix, P3, you had a chance to win the race, but could you describe the race? Was this still better race than Singapore? Was this like, okay, I got something back from Singapore?
Not really, because my pace in Singapore was a lot better. But I was already struggling last week a bit with my wheel, because my downshift pedal was kind of broken, but not completely. It was fine in Singapore, but today was awful. So sometimes it shifted down twice, and it got very bad at the end of the race. It actually got as bad that I lost a second to Harry right behind me within one sector, because it shifted down into first gear and into second gear in corners where I didn't want it to. So I basically had to save the car like twice per lap. So obviously the pace wasn't there. Hopefully this will be the last race with this wheel, because it's quite awful. But the race itself was quite fun, and I think if I wouldn't have that issue, I could have actually won the race.
Yeah, I mean, you're driving very good races. You've driven 4 races in EFL, P2 in Spain, P2 in Hungary. You could have had P2 in Singapore, now you had P3 in Russia. So is this like, your driving style reminds me a little bit of Nick Heidfeld. So would you describe your driving style as Nick Heidfeld? On a little bit less aggressive, but basically.
I don't know. Like I'm usually consistency is like my main skill in racing in general. I barely make mistakes, or most of the time don't make mistakes in league races. I don't want to jinx anything right here, but it's been a long time since I actually made a proper mistake, except from Monaco, because Monaco is just something different. But yeah, I think just picking up some solid points or podium positions is quite important. But I'm not sure how aggressive Nick Heidfeld was in terms of overtaking. Can't quite remember. I remember a great overtake on Alonso, but I usually like to overtake quite aggressively. So, but yeah, consistency is just my main speciality, I'd say, rather not the pace itself.
Alright, that's very good choice of words from you sounding like experienced driver. So Amity P2, we couldn't get his interviews because I think he's either poor, can't buy a new headset, or then I don't know, because he hasn't had a new headset for 365 days. So I think it's probably financial issues. So we'll try to fix that. But anyways, we're gonna hear, ladies and gentlemen, the winner drivers and winner constructors national anthems. So the national anthems of Germany and national anthems of England. Это дамы и господа, мы услышим победителя этого гонку, это гимн его страны, и услышим это гимн его машины, что гимн это Немецию и Англии God Save the Queen. And those were the national anthems of Germany and UK, Scout the Queen, what we've heard so many times in this season so far. Congratulations for the VRT Sape, who's won the Grand Prix, P2 Amadi and P3 Felix Negua. And this was round 16 of EFL. Thank you for all the viewers, drivers who have participated the whole event of today, Wednesday. And to everybody, good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you again next week, round 17 in Japan. And Semin Vossen. Спасибо, дамы и господа, что вы смотрели эту гонку сегодня в EFL. Это 16-я гонка в России, в Сочи. И спасибо всем и поздравляю Верти Сейпа, что победитель этого гонка. Второе место Амади и третье место Феликс Негуар. И всем это людям, кто смотрел, какие смотрели эту гонку или ехали, всем пилотам. Это спокойной ночи, доброе утро или добрый день. И мы увидимся в следующей неделе. Гонки 17. Это Япония. Это всем до свидания и чао-чао. Люблю вас всех.